Hey strangers, so I know that you came here thinking you were going to watch Avengers Infinity War. Is that this movie? Yes, not quite Endgame, but Infinity War. And instead you're getting a white comedian talking about it who also happens to have a degree in film studies. Now, why would you want to continue watching this video? Well, unlike the other commentary tracks, this one doesn't have a litany of ad breaks in the middle of the action. I actually encourage you guys to sync this up while you're watching it on Netflix, and if you intend to do so, please go to 0000 and hit play now. Rated PG-13 for intense sequences of violence. I find this action throughout language something I couldn't read it all well. And I slurred my speech because I am kicking back with the Mountain Dew Code Red. Not sponsored. Oh, by the way, if you are still listening, I want you guys to keep an ear out for the secret word that I'll be dropping during the middle of our presentation, and you might win a prize. Now look, we're no beating around the bush. I don't really care for this movie a lot. I think it's mediocre, as are all of the Avengers films and the majority of the MCU, with maybe a couple of good movies, but nothing incredible across the whole, 20 movies or so. Already this starts off bad because they're under attack and we don't get to see their battle with Thanos. We're just watching the aftermath. That I don't find that like great storytelling here. You had the privilege of being saved, sure. So who else dead here? Look, is that Valkyrie or not? On the ground. I thought it was. They're saying no, there were escape pods. They got away. How come the defense for these movies come up after the fact? I don't remember this guy's name, but I think he shows up in a couple of the movies. Not that it matters a whole lot. There's Loki. He knows what's what. He's kind of been a lieutenant of this guy, Thanos, before. I'll give Josh Brolin this. He has a good voice for Thanos. I like the way he sounds. And Thanos overall looks cool, but he does look like like Grimace's abusive older brother. Destiny arrives. Is that what he says in Fortnite when you get to play some Destiny arrives? It was hard to make out what exactly he was saying. Okay, so he's showing off his Infinity Gauntlet, and he has one stone right now. And now Loki's going to give him another one. And you're thinking, as anybody should, where did he get the first stone? Oh, well, we didn't get to see that battle. Yeah, we have all these movies, immense amount of runtime. We're splitting this particular conflict into two films, and we don't get to see how he acquired the first stone. Honestly, I don't see the threat here, because what is he doing exactly to Thor? And we know, as invincible as Thor is what can stop him? It kind of takes a long-winded speech for me to be convinced that any of these heroes can be harmed. You really are the worst, brother. Or is he the worst brother? Because if he only has two options, that you're the worser brother. Oh, it turns out I'm not Asgardian. Also, there is no Asgard left. Great storytelling. Anybody else does that? Anybody else pulls this, oh yeah, we destroyed the whole planet? Like what happened in Star Trek? We destroyed Vulcan. People lose their shit. No one is losing their shit over Asgard being destroyed. Okay, Hulk should be able to win this fight. The guy has one of the stones. This is the time when he's most vulnerable. Is Hulk angry enough here? I'll tell you what, Ang Lee's 2003 Hulk would have kicked his ass. And doubt me as you may, but that 2003 film is really good. It's a character study. It's not a, you have to be a PhD candidate in Marvel to understand type film, like we've gotten to the point here. The only real knock I have with that film that I will agree upon with others is that the character design for Hulk is misplaced. They went with something wholly original instead of looking back at decades of comic books, and that was a big fail. And now here's Idris Elba and whatever his character's called, still being alive for the time being, so he can send Hulk away, I guess, but not rescue anybody else. Okay, all right, whatever. And then Thor's going to say that he's his best friend. I didn't see a huge best friend thing from him. And look, okay, if he gets stabbed, and then we're told that Loki dies next, but he's come back to life before, then what's to stop this guy from coming back too? All right, so the guy who looks like a mutated gray alien has some telekinesis power. I'm not sure what the other ones have, but it's just a big CGI character fest. This guy is such an ass kisser, isn't he? I think is it from this point forward, Thanos is just like screw armor? It took us long enough to realize that the Tesseract is another Infinity Stone or has it inside of it. We just have to call things all sorts of different names to confuse any layman. They certainly go more all out with their CGI in the Avengers films than they do all the ancillary solo movies. I mean, this looks like a marked step up over Black Panther visually, doesn't it? Two more stones on Earth. Find them, my children, and bring them to me on Titan. He has a lot of adopted children, doesn't he? Ha ha ha, failure is experience. I consider experience. Wow, what a witty comeback. I, Prince of Receding Hairlines. God of Mischief is not a great title. God of Mischief. You put that on a resume. I dare you. No. He's protected by one of those. What does each of the stones do? I get an idea of what the time stone does. That's about it. You know what? I'm not so sure that the composite and matte work there is the best. Like when some of these CGI characters have to manipulate somebody that's actually on set, maybe things are not quite the best. Just on the lifting there, really. And it's because just little things like having to rotoscope around everything and put objects in front of people. Just sometimes those lines just don't get realistic lighting on them. Or even the movements that get a little shaky as you lifted him. It's not fluid. No resurrections this time, though. I have a feeling he will be. Because that's the way shit goes. And you see, it's things like that that just make it hard for me to understand why people are so enamored with this franchise. Because so many things can just get undone. And here we have an entire movie that is going to get undone. So it's like, what are you invested in, really, if everything can just be cheap tricked out? And the excuses, the fanboy army that will go after and lynch whoever, like a mob on the internet, that says ne'er a bad word about any of this, is insane. So many other franchises. Oh, well, you completely ruined this. You destroyed this planet. You killed off this character. How dare you? Over here, it's like you just look the other way. Shit. Now, I guess, actually, I've probably missed 3, or I guess 4 now if you include Endgame. 4 movies in the franchise, including this guy Doctor Strange's. Of which I didn't really feel terribly out of the loop. I guess he has a monk butler guy. Is that what I'm getting here? He's got to have some money. This looks like a pretty good pad. And he has some kind of magic abilities, right? Thanos is coming. He's coming. Okay. I guess that guy, Benedict Cumberbatch, was out of the loop. Look, the Avengers fanfare music. Horrific. You cannot hum that. Shit. The music throughout this movie is a big letdown. It tries so hard to build whatever feelings you're supposed to have for a given scene. All right, so we have Tony Stark, and I think he said he's married to her now. I don't know. Should people be hounding him for an autograph? In a world where the Avengers are real, we still have movie stars, and thus the Avengers are not that famous. Yeah, I remember in Iron Man 3 when he said, I've checked out of being Iron Man, but then I guess I decided to reverse that because we like to come up with these fake conclusive endings for our movies and then totally renege. You should have shirts in your closet. For her age, Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't look that bad, but deep inside, she is full tilt crazy. I'm Doctor Strange. Evidently, they have not met prior. Okay. Oh, they haven't. They're not married, but they're getting married. Is that the story? Bruce, what are you doing here? Why are you so shook up? Let's tell the story of the beginning of the universe. The Big Bang sent 6 elemental crystals hurling across the virgin universe. Alright, so this is like Lord of the Rings. Control an essential aspect. Although it... Space, reality, power, soul. I got soul, and I'm super bad. Mind and time. Okay, so you have the time. I understand the time. I can maybe grasp power, mind. What's the space stone? Is that what he said? Soul? What the shit? It gives you a record from Motown? Alright, explain some stuff to me and the audience. So the guy that told Loki to attack, huh? don't think that Iron Man should be this out of the loop that he needs to be explained all this. Am I wrong? Alright, he doesn't want him touching that. Evidently, he manipulates his cape. Is his cape like a character in his standalone movie? Okay, not standalone, but his little individual solo outing. Stark raving hazelnuts. That I like that. I guess the Hulk has not been on Earth in a while. Maybe something happened with Age of Ultron that sent him away. Because I did see the Thor Ragnarok, and they acted like he was missing abroad. Hulk study abroad for a year. Okay, so there's 2 stones on Earth. Vision has the Mind Stone. I didn't see Vision get created, but it's my understanding that the AI that Tony was talking to for a while got turned into Vision. Don't feel terribly out of the loop there. The power of this Mind Stone there. Okay, sure. And some of these Avengers have to be laying low. Like some of them got captured and put on the helipad thing that flies, but it's like an aircraft helicarrier. Is that it? But out at sea, like a prison. They got busted out. So they're laying low. Were they in Berlin? Is that it? The Avengers broke up? Yeah, Cap and I aren't talking. You say Thor's gone, but I don't know. You kind of got teleported away before a lot of that went down. Just saying. Flip phone. With all of my technology, why do I have this? You aren't going to do this, Jarvis, do this and this. I think now doesn't he have a chick helping him? Like, what is his name? Her name's like Friday or something, right? Who's the voice of that? And are these guys maybe not adoptive children of Thanos? Because if we're under the assumption that all of his lieutenants are adopted kids, or it was the green chick and the blue chick, were they also up to the same stuff? I don't think Gamora was going around murdering up the place. Friday. I guessed right. Remembered. Okay, what do we got going on over here? They try to land their ship in the middle of traffic. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Spidey sense does not work like that. Oh, my Spidey sense is tingling. No, that Spidey sense. Okay, first of all, it's spider sense, and they'll say Spidey sense by mistake. Fanboys will. It tingles when he's in immediate danger, and that's like the slowdown time allows his agility to kick in, and he escape. It's not the bat signal. Oh boy. We've got a senior citizen driving the bus, guys. Like a guy who is going to die in months is being trusted to drive these kids. Okay, how does the AI evac people? I would like to actually see that. Seems really foolish of humans to disband the Avengers when they're really the Avengers coming about brings all this more trouble to Earth, And then you say, let's lose that safety net. I don't know who the hell the big rocky looking guy is. The Children of Thanos. Maybe they all are adopted. Hell. Be thankful that your meaningless lives will be ended. I guess when the holograms come out of his hands, that means he's ready for business. All right, fish thing Hulk is about to fight. And then this bullshit about, oh, I can't summon the Hulk. He's been shell-shocked and now he's just reclusive. He won't come out. Bite me. Oh, but we got one good Hulk fight this movie, so it's okay if he goes away. Hulk just magically is shy. Shit. Come at me, fanboys. Justify this. No, I can't. It's like I can't get it up, Tony. I don't care for what they've done with Iron Man at all. Where, okay, so his skin is his outer layer. It's the T1000. He's basically like the TX now. Like underneath solid components, outside liquid metal. Shit. I don't care for the design either. All right, guys, let's just throw some CGI stuff about, and there we go. I guess he got him to safety. Is that the idea? Logistically, maybe they were. It's kind of hard to say. Were they close or far away from each other during that little stare off? Also, there are some issues with the geography of this. More so later when I think Vision and Scarlet Witch have to do stuff, but it seems like people are just in places during fights instead of getting to them. And I'll bring that up when we get there. Oh, boy. I don't really think Andrew Garfield is the best looking actor, but boy, was he good in Spider-Man's suit. He had the lankiness and a snark factor. He had the right voice for it. Oh no, CGI bricks are being turned into spears. What are we going to do? Okay, they redirect. You made me bleed my own blood. Popular with children? I'll give the movie this. If you are looking for superhero powered showdowns, this will deliver. Like, there is a lot of superhero battling throughout this. Unfortunately, it doesn't feel like an entire movie. It feels like you're watching maybe the second act for 2.5 hours of a story. The build, there's no build up. There's no real conclusion. I mean, there's this false presentation of a conclusion that you know it's to be continued. And just right out the gate, they're already fighting about stuff. I mean, right out the gate, we have Mayday, Mayday, we're going down in a spaceship. Oh no. Does he need his cape to have powers? Not that I'm too concerned. I'd kind of like to see some people fleeing, some observers, maybe showing the stakes more. Oh boy. Meaty hand. I didn't see any bone there. Give me a little juice, Friday. It looked like a lot of juice. He has to get escape velocity. 17A. Oh, is this him sending a suit to Spider-Man? I can't breathe. There is no way, even with powers, he can breathe up there. That's absurd. Now they launched a suit towards him with nanotech stuff, and they've made Spider-Man into Iron Man version 2. Oh, well, it's in the comics. They made a comic well after the fact and only recently that Spider-Man has these extra tentacle arm things that come out, so it's like he has 8 limbs. Oh, well, it's in the comics, so they justify it. Well, when Tony Stark is replaced by what's her name, Riri or some shit, when they're like some girl named Rihanna that's replaced, black girl with hair. Oh, well, it's in the comics, so it's okay. They went and they SJW'd up the comics so that they would have a precedent to bring those characters in here. You're going to get your female Thor, probably a female Captain America, female Iron Man for sure. That stuff's all going down. They might even with what is it, X-22 or X-23, X something. It's not like it's an old character. It's a new character they cooked up so that they could replace Hugh Jackman when the films needed it. When they decide to bring Wolverine into the Avengers fold, it's going to be looking like a female Wolverine equivalent. Oh, well, we can't really replace Hugh Jackman, so we can just go the other direction with the gender flip. All right, Monk Guy's checking out of the movie. Rubber Band Man. Cue 70s-ish music for Guardians of the Galaxy. Space. What a well-defined location. Drax is asleep. Drax is funny in this. He was funny in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He didn't talk a great deal in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but he was kind of funny. He definitely became a comic relief character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I hate Rocket Raccoon. I don't think the effect totally works. I mean, it's a good enough effect. He doesn't look exactly like a raccoon. But I don't think that you need him. Like, he doesn't contribute anything. He just causes problems. He doesn't say anything particularly funny either. Mantis is kind of funny. Groot's near pointless. Everybody acts like they can understand him when all he says is the same thing. It gets old. Oh no. Then Thor crashes into their windshield. Is it a windshield if it's on a spaceship? Oh, what if he didn't crash right there? How different this movie could have turned out. Then we're going to have Star-Lord have to try to act like Thor because he thinks Gamora, did I have her name right earlier? Handsome, muscular man. It's like everybody's like infatuated with Thor for no reason. So then he has to act like him. Mantis has one of the more useful skill sets for them. And they're going to use it and then totally shoot themselves in the foot. When Quill left space, or rather left Earth for space, did he know what a Bowflex was at that point? Was that so much a thing? All right. Look around a bit. I don't know. It seems like when he says, "Who the hell are you guys?" and then we jump a scene ahead, maybe that would have been a good time to switch to somebody else's actions. They say that he could kill like half the universe with the snap of his fingers like this, and then she snaps. One would think that is a metaphor, but it's like his weapon was designed specifically to snap. Before my father died, he conveniently told me that I had a half sister who appeared immediately upon his death, and we fought. That's a terrible looking spoon. I need a hammer. Now we have to act like we're from Asgard. This is my voice. Let's see. Chris Pratt, was he 6'2"? I think that Chris Hemsworth. How many more Chris's can we get in here? Any like 6'3"? I feel like Thor should have been taller. Like 6'5" or taller. Okay, well, if he knows the Collector has the Reality Stone, what was stopping Thanos from getting there already? Doesn't seem like it's that safe of a place. Oh, look, he was on Xandar. Captured it already. Wait, how? So what's the? Did he just assume that? Nowhere is a place. Nidavellir? Eitri the dwarf, who is enormous, but played by a dwarf. And I think that, oh shit, can't remember the guy's name. And it helps that I can't remember his name because there isn't a title sequence in any of these movies that will actually give you the cast. They just save all that shit for the end. Let's just dump all the credits at the end. I can't keep straight who's in this or not. Anyways, the short little guy, he's got to like playing a giant. We have to go to nowhere. Everybody talk exclusively about what we need to do. No time for the character development. What is Groot playing? It wasn't like an Atari Lynx, but layout might have been similar. Was it an Atari Lynx? One of, and I know they made like 2 models of it. Okay, now we have our little half-ass love story shit. Man, that the youngest Olsen sister is horrific. She has the nose of one of Michael Jackson's. Yeah, tell him what you feel, sure. Like, if you have the powers she does, do you have to do hand shit? You have to do jazz hands to make powers happy? If it came down to that, I would just rather not show off. Look, I'm going to look dorky while I summon shit. Scotland. What, you didn't want to just hit us with Earth? Okay, so it's Scotland and not Berlin. I'm off. What are you going to do? You're not even listening. Well, so has he been... He has the Witch Stone? Is it the Reality Stone? So he can manipulate reality to look like a human? Is that it? It's a good thing while they're laying low on vacation, they have other Avengers nearby. Keeping an eye on them. That must be exciting for everybody. I get my news late on television, just like almost nobody these days. Damn, that is a sneaky spike up the back. Oh no, you just blasted her through some CGI window. Alright, you want to not break that stone, right? I'm not really sure what her whole powers entail, but it's my understanding that she's quite powerful. And probably vision as well. I'd like to know how these Children of Thanos even have a chance. Oh, I think that one's female, guys. Give us the stone and she lives. Well, maybe for now. I mean, is that mean that she's going to survive this snap? Of the Children of Thanos, the female one, they did the most half-assed job with the face renders. It just looks blurry. And I don't think these characters were ever much established as characters, so they're just present to induce carnage for the viewer. All right, watch this like weird combination jump cut. Look, hands off, and then we're already next to each other, walking away. She never goes over to him. It's not technically a jump cut, because there is a bit of a cutaway. But as continuity goes, something ain't quite right with it. And then don't we have Captain America's like in the background, like, I've been waiting over here for a train. Oh, moan. And now I have a beard. Falcon, right? I mean, is he useless enough? Hey, you know how other people in this team can fly without having mechanical wings? Well, not me. And I don't really understand what we're doing with Scarlett Johansson at this point either. Like, we changed her hair again. They get the chance. This movie. All right, so it's Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Robert Downey Jr. The jet, not quite the Blackbird. Home. Now we got a little flashback. Got to show us how Gamora isn't really totally down with the whole Thanos cause here. Which of things that we could have looked back to explore, I think flashbacks are kind of a jokey way to pad out stuff. It's a little lazy storytelling to just insert a flashback in the middle of a film. I mean, we already knew that they were on the outs, right? You have some attitude. I like you, kid. And I'm sure that the little girl that plays Gamora is now in something else, and now she's the something for this and whatever, right? Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Is balance really that important? You go to Disney World, you need some balance in Disney World. You need some like street toughs roughing up people on one side. Is that what you need? Does Gamora's makeup change between movies? Maybe hair color, styling, maybe the lines on her face? Has she had like cybernetic implant type stuff? Because I've noticed that that's getting to be quite the thing with movies now, as far as this, like, well, just other media too. Look at that character design for Cyberpunk 2077. You got the like cyber tattoo enhancement face stuff, kind of like what she's got there. I've seen it other places too. I'm trying to think. All right, something happens. You have to kill me because I know something Thanos doesn't know. Not that I honestly think it even matters. I don't trust me impossible. This is garbage dialogue, people. I have a secret, but I can't tell anybody who can help me to help me avoid this. Man, they really hit him hard with the Shatner sideburns. Uh, Mild love story thing, but with shady, I don't know what, foreshadowing. All right, now we have to get our jokey jokes. Yep. So still you're invisible. Mastered that ability. Not funny. Okay, Mantis is the Toby of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's an Office reference. Yes, I've been watching The Office lately. Nowhere. Giant font. You're going to get a lot of titles in this movie. Let's put down. Usually, let's touch ground. Let's sit down. So this is Thanos tricking them into thinking that they're going to be able to stop him, but all this stuff's in the past. Reality. Okay, so he has the reality stone. Which one was it that's in Vision? Not that it matters. All right, we got two of the guys from Sicario and Sicario 2 having a little scene here, kinda. Heavy makeup on one. Other one's like what, motion suit? And what they don't tell you here is that as comic book stuff goes, Drax is human, and his wife and daughter died on Earth, and then with him all but dead, he is granted powers to become a Thanos fighting machine, though not technically a machine. And he throws out these names that are not human Earthling type names. Her power to make people sleep. So helpful. Ugh. Balance this, bitch. Realistically, though, I'm going to get on every movie about this. If you stab somebody with metal, she didn't hit him in the metal, so it shouldn't have made the metal on metal contact sound, that ching ching that we get all the time. Why'd you stab me, Dar? You never bought me a car when I was 16. You just made people give it to you. You killed half of them anyways, so that the roads wouldn't be congested. And you know this has to be fake because we have a lot of movie left ahead of us. It was all a ploy to make you think something. So this is showing the power of altering reality. A whole movie about collecting these stones doesn't show him picking up the first damn stone. So his plan here is to capture her for the needs of acquiring another stone that requires the sacrifice. This is where you have to take the shot. I don't want to tell you why, because it'd require explaining stuff, and we're going to have to explain it later to the audience anyways. But now's the time to do that thing I told you to do. No, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so it's up to him to kill you. You're the one that wants to get killed. You have an opportunity here to jump on some rocks just aft of where they want you to go. And you fail to do that. Girls, find you a guy that will blast you in the face. Now shoot her. Bubbles. At least he tried for you, right? Gamora, you gotta jump now. It's in your hands. So when he leaves an area, does that mean reality returns back to it? I guess the space stone allows him to travel to wherever. What does the soul stone do? What does the soul stone... Yeah. Oh, now we get our anemic Rhodey, right? Accords. Everybody loves the Accords angle, don't you? Oh, no, you don't. I was kind of sort of paralyzed here, so I have to have some robotic leg add-ons, little mobile suit. You know, this hologram walking around shit only really works if the environment is the same on both ends. So if it's just total flat surface for you to walk around, sure. And everybody has to have really the same layout. Arrest them. They really take Shield out of this too. Shield is, I believe, totally non-existent in this movie. There's no mention one way or the other. You got Thunderbolt Ross as like the Avengers desk lead, boss around her. That's about it. What's awkward about this? I don't understand. Are they supposed to be an item? The guys with families are on house arrest. It's that easy? Oh, well, we take a deal and we're on house arrest. So these guys didn't take a deal and they went to like the hell carrier. I have to think about killing myself, and the only person who can do it is the one I love. Not unlike what we just saw in the previous scene here. Eyes glazed over with crack. Or, sorry, is it heroin for the eyes glazing? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not Carrie Fisher. We take out the stone. There's still a lot of vision left. Somebody might have the technology to remove the stone without killing him. Where could we do this? Where can we get advanced tech? Wakanda forever! And remember, they're opening up to the world. All right, what fight are they having? I don't think that they're having battle in Wakanda yet. So what is there a civil war thing happening among them? We decided to give you an arm back. White Wolf. Has it been touched up with some Wakanda tech? I don't know if he can be that aware that there's any need for a conflict with them. They don't have the thing Thanos is looking for, so why assume it's they're any of that's reaching? I don't know. A lot of needle spikes. Oh no, it's not quite shards of glass or anything. So what are we doing to him? How long have Tony and Spidey been walking around over here? I guess Spidey, they thought he left, but he hasn't actually. There he is. Honestly, it just looks like a bunch of floating heads on top of CGI bodies. Why do we always get Spider Boy? It's always been Spider Man, and yet we always get a Spider Kid. Now they want this feesbag to be, is it Nathan Drake? Not Drake the rapper, but the Uncharted. It's not a thing where they're thinking, oh, who would be good for this role? It's, well, who's still who's in movies anymore? And it's just people from Marvel. Because everything else doesn't look bankable. They don't put anything else out in theaters to go up against these movies. That's part of how they make so much money, is a lack of competition. If you want to go to the movies, you have one option, and Disney sees to it that that's the case. They require theaters to have nothing running against this stuff just for the rights to, or rather the privilege to show Avengers. To show Avengers Endgame, theaters had to put back in, or rather keep around, Captain Marvel. There's our damn spider leg shit. Yeah, like we needed Spider-Man to turn into Dr. Octopus. Christ. And there's Tony Stark with a weapon to do everything on his person. Oh, so you're telling me that guy can't withstand space in the same way that Thor can? Thor doesn't become an ice cube in space, but this guy, whatever. This stuff goes down so quick, it's not exciting. Any other movie, bad guy gets blown out of space, like, that's climactic finishing move shit. Here it's like, okay, that was another thing that happened. Poor Robert Downey Jr. has to contend with all these British people putting on American accents. Oh, we're going by those names. Okay, I'm Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man such a whipped pussy in Homecoming and Far From Home as he is in these? Oh, hey, Mr. Stark. They want to go to Titan. He wanted to meet them on Titan. It works out. Go to Titan. Always fight your wars abroad, guys. It's always better to have somebody else's cities destroyed. It's been the policy of the United States. We keep the war off of our soil. Go ahead and fight Hitler in England. Just don't bring him over to Miami Beach. And now he's officially an Avenger because he had the approval of one Avenger. All right. Where are they? We didn't get a giant font. Made a bowl of something. All over my throne. That looked to me like metal, and yet it shattered like it was ceramic. Does he look better in his downtime garb here, or do you guys prefer Thanos in the all golded up stuff? We were happy, but we were going to bed hungry. I showed up and I killed half the people so that there would be resource availability. Yes, as great and vast as the universe is, we're that concerned about overpopulation of the universe. I can understand overpopulation of a planet. Shit. Did he just say that the universe is infinite? But the resources are finite? That doesn't make sense. If one is infinite, the other is infinite too. Realistically, my thinking of this is that the universe is finite. It's just so big that it's large enough that the assumption that it can be infinite is possible. Does that make sense to you guys? Oh, I'm sorry I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson. Sorry, I try to be concerned about things that actually happen to us instead of, oh, here's a star we'll never travel to. Nebula, right? Yes. We have one guard at the station watching, and then another one who holds the spear in case anything goes down. We have her in full maquette mode. Oh no, you're torturing her to get to me about what? Going for the stones, all of them. Okay, so there's no map to the soul stone. I don't like lying. Oh, I'll tell the truth. You know, instead of looking the map over, her plan was to burn it. Just start burning it. Don't memorize it, maybe. Could there maybe be other people, characters who know where these stones are? You speak Groot. Great. Oh boy, why can't I remember this actor's name? The guy who voices the raccoon. Just left a supermodel girlfriend baby mama. Bradley Cooper. I don't see the need for him. Like, he's putting on a voice. That means you can get anybody. The whole point of having a star voice a character is to have the character sound like a distinct star's voice. He's never fought me twice. And I'm getting a new hammer. The raccoon is not convinced. It does seem as though Thor has one of the better plans. Everybody else is like, we got to prevent him from finding the stones. He's like, hey, let's go get weapons that can destroy him. Surely Groot could be into more interesting gaming. Yeah, I kept this eyeball up my ass crack just in case an Avenger who is minus an eye needed one. Fine tuning his eyeball. I could be mistaken, but I think for most of the film, we're going to see him without an eye effect. Like right there, that looks like Hemsworth honest eyes. If I had to take a guess. 'Cause 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 take a guess You know, they up the price on Netflix, right? Does that entitle you to 4K streaming from Netflix? Or do you have to pay even more? Because I think it's gone from just under 10 to 12. We're getting more competition coming from Netflix. This stuff, Avengers, these things going to be yanked. I'm probably going to have to do next week a Ant-Man and the Wasp commentary. Has it been like a hot hour since we've had like real superhero style fighting? Oh, look, it's the model for the Infinity Gauntlet, right? Why? So I guess we could just use one of those, maybe. Definitely a dwarf. Under, yeah. So what do the non-dwarfs look like of his kind? Or where at? Asgard is destroyed. It means no obligation anymore. Just like when you go to Best Buy and you get that Xbox Elite Controller Series 2 replacement plan for 2 years, and then Best Buy goes under. Oh, no obligation, replace. He ruined my hand, so I couldn't make any more weapons. Could have just killed me, but whatever. Can he remember all of his sword designs, or is this stuff even that complicated? Hey, you have a handle, you have the blade, sword design. We'll just say it's made of this and that, and it can do whatever, and there we go. Now, obviously, this whoever the hell guard working on her, she's got to be escaping, or we wouldn't be seeing this. No time to repair this foot. I'm dragging it across my shin. Is Nebula in the Guardians of the Galaxy? And for that matter, is Mantis? I guess if you get rides on the ship, maybe you're included. But like Spider-Man just got Avengered. Okay, you have almost no chance in hell of successfully landing this. It's not computer operated. You have to manually pilot this thing down, huh? And yeah, somehow that doesn't break up in the atmosphere, doesn't kill you, none of that shit. Right, okay. For the hell of it, I'm going to appear upside down here for the hell of it. It's almost like they just shot that scene with them earlier talking. And there may, if you compare the two, there may not be any difference between the characters or the way the environment is. Other than they just changed that plate in the back to be like, oh, hey, damaged ship. Please don't put your eggs in me. Is this shit exciting here? Superhero scruff. And all this Avenger stuff, it always comes down to them having to fight each other for some reason. Hey, we all want to be the leader of the high school football team. Hey, we have more infighting. Hey, you kill my parents. Hey, who's who here? We need to fight before we figure this out. Why is Gamora? It was one of the funnier lines in the movie. I don't know if he can or not. I'm not from Earth. I'm from Missouri. You don't think Jesus' word is widespread enough to be outside of Earth, buddy? Needed saving. We Okay, so this axe thing that he's going to be making is Stormbreaker. It's something that they could have already had on hand, right? Hey, I have to go fetch a weapon from somewhere. I guess either way they're going to go acquire a weapon, whether you're making it or fetching it. Does it slow the movie down, though, to have to go do this weapon gather? These guys honestly didn't need this weapon, though. They all are weapons themselves, and they had a good enough plan that they kind of winged, for that matter. Yeah, we kick names and take ass. That's right, kid. And everything would have worked if it wasn't for Quill being a little bitch. Just like he doesn't learn his lesson. That's poor character development. He does the same shit in his last movie. Has a hissy fit. Oh, well, it's not him not learning his lesson. It's him being loyal to his bratty character. Now, is this Spider-Man talking about the original Footloose? Well, he's not too far off on that percentage, really, because he's saying he's all human. This looks hilarious. Is this supposed to look this funny? This shot here of Strange tripping is ready for the meme treatment. Hmm, 14 million possible outcomes. We win one, huh? And the one that we win said that I need to go ahead and give up the time stone. All right, I told you the location. We're going to land a good walk away for the hell of it. Shit. This is going to give you a lot of awkward father-daughter time to chat up. So you like any boys? Yeah, I met Quill. He seemed like a nice guy. He wanted to kill you. He was willing to do it, but I made him shoot bubbles out of his blaster. This is just straight stupid. This effort to intertwine as many of these films together in impossible, far-fetched ways. So Red Skull defeated, got blasted into wherever the hell this Volmir is. Which, doesn't that sound like a Lord of the Rings thing? And now he's like the guardian of the Soul Stone. Why wouldn't Red Skull be more welcome to the possibility of just taking this thing for himself? He wanted one of them. I grew out of finding these stones. You can't possess the treasure because... But you know the rules guarding it because... Plot convenience. Yeah, tell us more, Agent Smith. You might say, and here I am saying. And this is like, Gamora knows the roadmap to it, I guess. Did we see the movie with her finding the Soul Stone map? I don't, or burning it. I don't recall that shit happening, but would the map maybe also have printed on it the riddle and the sacrifice stuff? So so now she knows this much. Could be thinking that he's going to sacrifice her, so she needs to do something else. But she doesn't, in her mind, she doesn't need to get killed because, well, I spilled the beans anyway, so it's too late. He got the information he needed from me. I'm not suicidal. You failed because you love nothing. No, let me think. Yeah, no, wait. I do love something. You. Throw. Think fast, Gamora. Stab yourself. Hit yourself with a rock. Jump to your left or right. It should be cold here, but screw it. Well, at least they kicked around some fake snow to land in her hair, right? Oh, you didn't think fast enough. Everything has to become bubbles. Could he stop her from jumping to her own death, though? Oh, generic music. And a lot of this, it will blast the horns during fight sequences. We don't see the impact because PG-13. We see the aftermath, though. You get one or the other. Impact, no consequences, or just consequences. Did anybody weep or any shit when she dies? You're supposed to be sad when characters die off in movies, if they're protagonists, but you knew everything in this movie was getting undone anyways, right? This announcing ahead of time that there's going to be a sequel is like a tactic to get people to go see the first movie. Oh, well, we haven't released it yet, but there's already this and this and this in the pipeline. Which means, oh, hey, invest your time in this because we're with it for the long haul. I don't think that's a great strategy. It says to me, oh, well, then what does this really matter if everything else is going to be concluded elsewhere? And now we're in Wakanda. Now, as I'm going to say here, which I did with the Black Panther commentary, you're going to find here that the movie Black Panther was totally unnecessary. He said we're going to open Wakanda up to the rest of the world, not what I imagined. These are lines that you didn't even need to know about taking place beforehand. It's covering it now. Okay, look, on the far left there, isn't that the light-skinned one that got killed? Didn't she get killed by Killmonger? But maybe Shuri undid it, and we never talked about it? Because if you can get anybody to her chamber in time... Okay, all these tribes are gathering up before we are even told that what was going to go down. Oh man, 57 minutes left. God damn it. Now she has to talk about being smarter than them. It'll take time, and I am a staff of one. Okay, did their jet get destroyed? Or something just crashed into their force field? I mean, I thought their jet touched ground, but it looked weird. Anyways, continue with whatever surgery type thing we're doing here. You say get this man a shield, and this is the best you can do. Which we're about to see. All right, we got to go build weapon. Again, not the worst plan, just cinematically boring plan. So how do we try to make building a weapon more exciting? This is what we've got. Now kids are supposed to be laughing because Raccoon has a reaction shot. I mean, hell, they could have said we need a more powerful ship than this little transport pod. Like, he essentially took like an escape pod from the Guardians instead of taking their ship. It's beautiful. Nividvir. Princess Guinevere. Sounds familiar. Wasn't there a Princess Guinevere girls cartoon thing? Jewel something. Princess Guinevere and the Jewel, I don't know, Riders? I know I'm making some shit up. You know he's making an axe? I mean, he talked about a sword earlier, right? You can't sharpen that block down and just be like, here's a slab you can hit him with. We got to have Bruce Banner do something. He's going to be comedic Iron Man. Now, poor Rhodey here. He's got like some outdated armor compared to what Tony's willing to give even Spider-Man, right? Oh yeah, nothing about this looks fake at all. It's swinging in with the transport, everybody get on guard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's important that we chant and psych ourselves up. I think that chanting going into battle as what Samoan dance before games, it's all come down to our athletes becoming dancers. There's so much singing and dancing before sporting events now. Everybody's got their handshake dance, whatever hell the else they got. Their sayings, they're hooting and hollering. All of it has manifested today in that form. It's not good enough that you can just dunk. You have to be able to dance. I swear that character looks janky as shit. There are YouTubers who can come up with some better CGI. Time to unleash our army of faceless goons for, something that's not really going to be any more as exciting as it was in the Avengers in 2012. And as I keep saying, when you have superheroes fighting non-characters, you never think that the threat lies with any of these. This is totally not exciting. Why are you guys still into this shit? Yeah. Doesn't the force field get worn out in some way, though? It's so busy forcing itself up. Just hitting him with the D-Day beach landing scenario here. I don't know. I mean, it seems like if it can cut all of them up, then how are any of them really getting through? We got guns with bullets for you standing by. Yeah, Falcon, you go ahead and you go out there and be mildly useful. Great. Yeah, it looks like the humans are doing okay. Circle the perimeter. Well, I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. They give them a hole so that they go through that way. Oh, well, that's optimistic, buddy. What a shitty looking shield. You got him a large spearhead. All right, we fight, we fight, we fight, we fight. Everybody, this is your running shot that you didn't quite have in the trailer. The trailer had a different everybody run forward shot. It had like the whole crew. You don't really have the whole crew here. Oh, look how much faster Black Panther and Captain are. These guys don't take out anybody with a name, so it's like, what gives? Just bring on the main course. Do you say All Fathers? Like it's in subtitles there, it's written as one word. It'll kill you only if I die. Yes, that's what killing you means. Let me ask you this. Have the Russo brothers made anything you've seen that wasn't attached to the MCU? I think they with the directors, and you could say directors now, because we're ending up in a situation where there's so few films being made that people consider movies, because things are not getting released to theater in the way that they were. They can get anybody to direct these movies. It's all, every big call is from a studio head or somebody listed as a producer, executive producer here. I don't think anybody makes these movies with a vision. And the films that we do get, that do get released in theater, that are a singular vision, are in short supply. It comes down to how frequently does Quentin Tarantino want to make a movie, because that's one of the few people who could say, hey, I want to do this, and somebody standing by saying, well, we're happy to oblige, and we'll put that in theaters. A whole lot of other stuff is, what have you heard of? I think Quentin Tarantino is positioning himself with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with his... he can say, look, this is my last movie, and everybody's going to be like, okay, well, we have to really think about giving him an Oscar now for Best Director or Best Picture. We really have to think about that, because this is his last movie, he threatened. Also, movies about the power of movies do really well. Argo, oh, look, it's movies saving people. And it's based on real life, yeah. Well, movies about movies, guys. That's where you get some awards. And I'll cut my arm off, and there's your hammer. They shaped the hammer, right? But they didn't really come up with a plan for the handle. And is Teenage Groot limb strong enough? I would say no. Or okay, it was an axe, not a hammer, whatever. You just toss around Black Panther. You're building up his kinetic energy. Come on, turn around and just punch him. Here's the movie messing up again. This would have been a good time. You got Thor bouncing on the scene. Great time to break out Led Zeppelin. And they don't. The worst fanfare superhero music going, guys. Shit, Batman jumps on the scene. You put in some Danny Elfman. Shit would have been on. This isn't terribly exciting. Boom, ba doon, dun dun dun, see, movie would have been way more exciting. Thanos is like, okay, I'm on Titan. Not with all the stuff yet, but not really quite sure why I'm here. My Spidey senses told me that some Avengers would be around to fight. Oh yeah, you're much more of a Thanos? What the hell does that mean? Okay, so he was going to meet up with this guy on Titan before all the stuff was assembled. Master of Mystic Arts, eh? Magician. See, this is what happens. This is Titan, an example of what happens when populations are not kept in check. You have, I guess, what we're going to consider unlimited power if you have all these stones, right? And your plan is to make half of everybody die, with the other half hating your ass. You could have simply enough ended hunger and these resource limitations, all this stuff, made everybody peaceful and been beloved by trillions of creatures. And instead you wanted to be hated. Did anybody ever make Thanos get counseling? Evidently, it didn't work. The universe is going to hate me for this, but I have to do it. Hour crunch. I don't know what they know about being able to kill him. Like, how tough is a Titan? All these other Titans died, right? How tall is Thanos? Is he like 9 feet? Oh, he gave the finger in a PG-13 Marvel movie. You could probably hit him with enough spiderweb and get Mantis close enough to take care of this shit. Yeah, that the bombs, whatever, that's not going to do much. He's just sort of blasting them away now with whatever power he had in Fortnite. Fortnite X Avengers, was it? Is that pronounced Fortnite and Avengers? See, I was thinking that X was a versus because I first really saw that it was like Street Fighter X Tekken or Tekken X Street Fighter, one of the two, whatever. And I was thinking it was a versus because Street Fighter had been versing stuff for quite some time now. Oh, we got the web in there. We're tying down this hand. Everybody pull. Drop in. Give him some sleep. Give him some sleep, Mantis. All right, guys, we've got a great plan. It's working out. Can we just keep Peter Quill away for a minute? For the record, this is my plan that I'm going to sabotage, huh? No, quit asking him questions. Make him sleep. Get this gauntlet off of him, and then you can question. No. Nebula, shut up. He took her to this place, came back. She didn't come back. No. Bring this up later. How stupid are these heroes? Now Tony Stark's like trying to talk some sense into him. No, you guys are so stupid. It makes it hard for me to root for you. I've got storms outside. If my power shuts down, who knows what could happen here. Just everything gets nulled. Let's hope we can power through, guys. We still got 37 goddamn minutes. Well. Hit him with the purple blast of everybody stand still. I guess he's attacking them with meteors now, huh? Shuri, hurry up. Just in case we're going to have super powerful Scarlet Witch stand by and do nothing during this battle outside your lawn. Oh boy. Cringe. Oh yeah, good thing we had Raccoon in this movie. Super powerful axe, huh? Does he actually have to hit everything with this axe physically? Because that kind of makes it seem to have less power than other stuff as far as widespread crowd control goes. That is kind of funny though that I am Groot. I'm Steve Rogers. He doesn't know that's the way he talks. Uh-oh, deforestation. They've got to be bad. And that's how they figured out they could go under the force field. By the way, I don't like the name Wanda. I'm just throwing it out there. You don't meet young Wandas. I don't know if that ground being impacted could look any more obvious CGI. So now that we know Wanda's not standing by, we can go to Vision. I don't think that they were in position to do this in the first place. All right, well, we have to abandon the operation plan. Ouch. She is human. I have to say something. Okay, turn. We'll have to see who that is. And I don't know why that spear's making sounds. Cut away from the fights. There's so much reminding you of the first Avengers. Oh yeah, that this is for New York. Slap, things like that. Oh yeah, just like in New York. Like New York is the name of a battle now. It's not a city. Where in that suit are his arms? All right, took care of that guy. See what I was telling about the horns? It's all horns. Do do. Dun. Horns and cha-ching sounds, isn't it? That was really gross. Well, we didn't get to see it being really gross. No, we can't just throw that spear across the ground. We have to. It has to be CGI. Jesus Christ. All right, so we've taken care of like all of the children at this point. Nebula is kind of like the last one standing. This aerial ballet of rescuing would have been exciting in a movie maybe 20 years ago. He talked about seeing like 14 million scenarios, but he may not have actually watched every scenario of how this could have gone down. Okay, Doctor Strange, why couldn't you have done this shit earlier? Well, you don't want to show him all your tricks at once? Yank. What is his greatest weapon then, if he didn't use it? Why not just go ahead and use it? Cursed with knowledge, eh? And we have a totally CGI shot, but we had to bring in that crash zoom. It's in everything. Hey, he bleeds red. Tony Stark being human would probably be in serious trouble there. I'm telling you, in Fortnite, this guy was really easily disposed. You know, you leave half of humanity alive to plot revenge against you. You know, why not just clear the roads completely, huh? If you're going to do that much, right? See, there was this Age of Empires like game. What was it? Shogun Total War. It was Rome Total War is what this was. Where if you took over a city, if you left people alive, they would plot against you. So you kill off everybody. You leave no one wanting revenge. Now, that scenario doesn't entirely hold true here for Thanos because he has the power to give anything. So he doesn't need to destroy anybody. Oh, hey, you guys have infinite food and resources. You're basically living in heaven. There you go. In the scenario, it said that I needed to give him the time stone so that we could keep this movie going for longer. All right, he's got 5 of them. Yes, we can count. Everybody has to show up dramatically late, don't they? Where else could he have been hopping around? Did we just... God, Quill, you're so stupid. Oh, he said Endgame, and that means next movie. Which I will only watch if it's on Netflix, Hulu, or some other shit that I have. Well, they're gonna use Endgame as your way to get you into Disney Premium Plus, whatever they're calling it. Yeah, I'm not interested. Along with a Wanda and Vision movie thing, right? Or no, a streaming series. Jesus, I started this off. My room was hot as shit, so I took my pants off. I'm sitting here in my Calvin Kleins. He's so dreamy. He's a total dream. That's what she said in Back to the Future. And now it's like with the storm going on outside, everything's cooled down. I am freezing my balls off. Just teleport in. He could have shown up and been part of this battle, gotten a whole lot of this stuff out of the way without, all of his children being killed. Could have teleported them in. Oh, but what fun would that have been? Eyes up, stay sharp. When people say stay frosty, that's a direct reference to Aliens. That is not a phrase prior to the movie Aliens. And the frosty, it doesn't mean keep your wits about you, none of that so much. It's in reference to the character Frost, who had a few quippy lines and then got killed quickly. But he was something of a jokester in the Colonial Marines, but everybody seems to think that the jokester role just all goes to Hudson's. No, beg for sacrifice. Oh no, it's drama in our superhero movie. It's not fair, but let me remind you, I'm British and I'm not really a human. We have to look beyond what we consider human, The machines, they can love too. Go for it. And then he's just going to show up and be like, oh, rewind. See, these are the problems you end up with when you're dealing with things that are so powerful and so beyond our reality. It takes a lot to get people invested. And I think that your investment in this stuff is more about the characters and this long-term relationship you've had with them, be it that you've liked Captain America since you were a little kid and you're so glad he's finally in movies, things like that. And not really what's going on within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because so much of this is just undone. Get out of jail free cards, left, right, and center. Oh, look how powerful Captain is. He's pulling back one of his arms. He's got 5 stones, and in some way he gave him more of a fight than Hulk when he had 1. Or no, wait, was that with 2? Did he have 2, then fight Hulk? Or was it 1? Shit, not that it matters. Look how powerful she is. She can slow his ass down despite having 5 stones. No big deal. Just rewinds. Gotta be wondering, where the hell's Thor? Right? I mean, he was on the battlefield already, doing all this shit. Should have been fighting him. Oh, okay, sure. Lost more than you can know, sure, uh-huh. Did he get an instruction manual with this stuff? Yeah, so any dramatic, triumphant, none of this stuff. We just brought Vision back to life to kill him again. Imagine being able to undo Titanic. Then there's no real results there, isn't it? And there we go. We have all the stones. But somehow the Avengers will triumph anyways. Yeah, Thor's like, I'll wait till you get all the stones, then I'm going to blast you with lightning. I'm not convinced that he would be able... that. Okay, so you have the 6 most powerful things in the universe. Is that the story? But one random neutron dying star thing shaped sword axe can stop you. Not so sure about that. Probably would have had a better chance of hitting him with all this stuff before he had all the stones. The hell was occupying Thor's time during all this? You should have gone for the head. But it's PG-13, buddy. I don't have the gauntlet? What's going on here? See, I thought I was just going to destroy half the universe. I didn't know I was also going to teleport and get some kind of lecture. Did he say yes through his mouth like a ventriloquist? Oh man, the gauntlet's looking in poor shape there. Zip. Yep, some good that weapon was. And it's not instantaneous. Everybody has to slowly dissolve. And it's weird what dissolves or not. Because it's like, well, their clothes will go with them. But, yeah, what does it pick and choose here? The gun doesn't go with him. His arm dissolves. Even though it's not, biological. They've got spears and shit dissolving. Up, General. No place to die. Oh, you spoke too soon. Is this count as dying or not? You're kind of unbeing, but you do dissolve into something that ends up on the ground. I should have brought this up, but General Okoye is nipping hardcore, like at all times. Oh no, we lost Groot to dust. This is supposed to be so sad, but we know the nature of these things either get undone or forgotten about with reboots. Oh, but it's okay to reboot comic book movies because they reboot comic books all the time, so it's just the nature of the beast. I'm trying to remember who all here dissolves. It's largely the core Avengers get to stay around. There goes Mantis. I think Quill goes too. Drax. Was it just too much work to leave the clothes behind? Like it was buttoned up against their time frame. Oh, yeah. Great way to say it now, huh? There's no other way this still didn't work. I'm starting to wonder how the hell Tony can get back to Earth. Oh no, this death in particular shook Tony up so hard. Like this is the big defining one, guys. Cry. Doesn't matter. So what? It's him and Nebula. Well, they lost more than 50% on that planet. How does? What's the deciding factor here on who lives, who goes? Oh man, does Bruce Banner look any more not actually there? I know they had to like kick in some CGI trees, make this more lush forestry. Yes, beautiful wherever the hell. He just wanted simpler times, guys. He just wanted to sit in his hut and chill. Is that so wrong? And there we go. I can't remember what the end credit stinger thing was for this, so I guess we're going to have to sit through that, aren't we? And that's going to take 12 minutes. Oh, jeez. We are trying to go for some kind of record here on credit time, aren't we? Actually, I think Alien versus Predator had a 12-minute credit sequence. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's the record now. Surely, and depending on how you look at this too. Alan Silvestri, I really feel like you've dropped the ball with these. Like it's fairly forgettable. This isn't exactly Predator. Probably got time to look up longest credits. Yeah, I think Paul W.S. Anderson may have it. Maybe if it's not Alien versus Predator, maybe it's one of his Resident Evil movies. People asking on what movie has the longest credits. Somebody says Return of the King, 9.5 minutes. I think we're past that point. This question was posed in 2010. With Benicio del Toro, with Josh Brolin as Thanos. And you see, when you negotiate these contracts, and like you're a guy that's been up and coming of late, right? So you get that and in there. You realize that you've jumped aboard this franchise, but hey, now you're a big deal between this and Jurassic World franchise, so you get that and. You negotiate that. I mentioned Carrie Coon. I think she probably played that obvious CGI faced thing. Let's not show any faces of any stuff. You know, we could have done with a Predator style ending. And yeah, she was the whatever the hell that character. Dun 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 dun, and then have that little sitcom style. Let's faces with names stuff going, huh? I think most of these MCU movies, though, they end with a big, uh, exciting credit sequence, a lot of animation. And this one, they're just like, no, get straight to the, not necessarily the crawl, but we're at the crawl now. We just want the white on black and then crawl. You could have set the stage with a nice, rousing bit of score and getting the names out there at the start, but they don't do that shit no more. I haven't been to a theater in a while, but you do still have, 12 minutes of trailer and other crap. Well, you got people sitting butts in seats here for, nearly 3 hours, and with the recurring theme of sticking on that Monk's Award, right? Monk's Award or Monk's Reward? I think it's Monk's Reward, as Roger Ebert called it. For sitting through the credits, you have the patience of a monk, thus the name. Everybody's like, well, there's got to be a sequence at the end of the credits. It's been their tradition, so you have to look and see what it is. I'm trying to recall what it could be. I know I've seen this before, and shit, it's probably been... When did I watch this movie? Because I did my review shortly thereafter of seeing it. I feel like it's been a while. I honestly feel like it's been a year, though I know it couldn't be. Firing up the YouTubes. And I just hate look, if I type in my channel name and Avengers, how come my shit's not coming up first? It's like, thanks a lot, YouTube. You don't want me finding my own videos. No wonder no one else can watch them. $5 months ago? Jesus Christ, it feels like it was longer than that. Yeah, get ready to see a whole lot of visual effects names, people who got scale, and then had crunch hours. No real benefit. If you want to be in the movies now, you have to sit at a console. assets, production, look development, support. Such vague titles. You have to wonder if some people snuck their way in. And also, they'll have multiple units working on different visual effects. So here's visual effects by DNEG. All these various setups. As I've mentioned prior, there was actually an effects firm in my town, Wichita, that would do stuff like the replication of a computer screen in the movie. So if a character's looking at a computer screen, they weren't really looking at the computer screen on, they would do that up with CGI. Why particularly, not always necessary, but it is what it is. Visual effects and animation by Cinesite. You wonder what they're doing. Then, like, their whole staff gets some kind of mention. End crawl and additional visual effects by Exceptional Minds. Wow, that end crawl. You guys, you really knocked it out of the park listing shit. .3D conversion. Did you guys see this in 3D? Do you remember the bad rap that 3D conversion had? It was like, oh, well, you had Avatar. That's real 3D. Then you had other stuff coming out converted. Oh, it looks so bad. It was converted 3D. Yeah. And now people don't care anymore. They're like, well, it was meant to be seen in converted 3D. So I guess I'm going to go see it in IMAX 3D and pay $30. Hell, it might even be more in some cities. Well, I wouldn't go see that movie in theaters, but this movie was meant to be seen in theaters, so here's my money. Dolby Vision, that's HDR. Dolby Atmos, that's faux surround sound stuff. Oh, yeah, god damn it, that's right. We have other... How could I forget this shit? How forgettable these movies are, guys. Oh, look at that car crash. Now, she's going to disappear. As he's disappearing, we see he's calling for help from Captain Marvel because you're supposed to recognize the logo, under the assumption that Captain Marvel is still a thing. I mean, I don't think that Nick Fury understood what happened here, that half of everybody's disappearing, but hey, it's the distress signal you had time for, right? I'm not too concerned about her loss. She's a recent character. I think she debuted in 2005. Well, it's in the comics that she gets to be in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D., so eventually blah, 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 blah. And then his mouth disappears. Did he get the distress signal out? Sending. We have a specially built pager to reach her from anywhere. Oh, yeah, there's music and some colors. Like, shit. All right, I guess I'm going to have to be doing another one of these, guys. I don't know what. Leave comments below. Oh, yeah, I said something about a secret word. Mother.